Chicken Salad, a drama in one act by Paul Donnelly. At Rise, a tight spot up on a young woman dressed casually in jeans and a pullover.
I'm glad you caught me on a good day. Everyone told me it would get better over time, and it has. It really has. On a good day, like today, I can go for 20 minutes at a time without coming back here.
Lights begin to rise around her.
No, not yet.
Lights fade back down.
Oh, go ahead.
Lights up on a small galley-type kitchen upstage right, a dining area center, and an entrance hallway upstage left. There is lots of counter space between the kitchen and dining area. The furnishings are hub/Marlowe Dutch colonial.
So we lived here the whole time we were married, and two years? Yeah, almost 2 years before that. The move out was all planned anyway. We were going to need more space, another bedroom. I was pregnant at the time with Betsy. That was the worst part, I think, well, for the cop. I was just over 8 months when he came to the door. He didn't have good news anyway, but I could see it got a lot worse for him when he saw that I was. Mrs. Ryan, he said. I'm sorry, ma'am, he said. There's been an accident, he said. Jack, I said. Mr. Ryan, yes, ma'am. Bad, I said. Is there someone that could drive you to the hospital? Of course there is, I thought, but he's already there. So I called my brother, who is not stupid. Up until he and Jack became friends, he was always my stupid little brother. It's just a reflex, really. He's kept me going since that night. But this isn't about him. It's not even about Jack, really. How can you tell a story that isn't really over? No, this is the story about the last time I ever spoke to my mother. And this is how it happened. But you really have to see it for yourself.
Blackout. Lights up as Carol and her mother, Norma, enter from the hallway upstage left. Carol is in a dark, subdued maternity dress, while Norma wears the severe black of conspicuous mourning. Norma has clearly recently been weeping.
Here, Ma, have a seat.
Are you really not having people back?
Really. I've seen enough people in the last 3 days.
People can be such a comfort. It's good for them, too. But I could pick up the phone. Your Aunt Dottie would be here in a flash.
I'm sure.
I think she was a little hurt not to have been invited back to the house.
No one was invited back.
Maybe some of those girls you work with?
Ma, you're here. That is all the company I need.
Oh, dear. I don't know that I'm that much comfort.
Do you want me to put on a pot of tea?
You got anything else in?
Coffee? Ginger ale?
Since no one is coming back, maybe we could go ahead and relax. Have a little drink.
What's the stuff you like?
Rye.
There's a bottle of that left from Easter. Somewhere.
Oh, tell me where to look. Don't be bending. Don't be reaching.
Okay. You'll have to anyway. There's no way I can get down that low. It's the cabinet under the stove. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Behind the waffle iron.
Oh, there it is. The bitters down here too?
No, they're up with the powdered sugar.
Oh, God.
Are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine, dear. Oh, maybe a little dizzy. I guess I shouldn't be bending like that either.
Here, give me the bottle. You sit back down. I'll catch your breath.
Oh, no, I did not come back here so that you could wait on me.
What's the matter? You don't trust me to make you an old-fashioned?
Well, I should be taking care of you.
I'm feeling fidgety, Ma. I need something to do anyway. It's fine.
Norma sits watching Carol as she assembles the makings of an old-fashioned from cabinets and the refrigerator.
It was a nice-sized crowd at the church. Shows you Jack was well thought of.
That doesn't come as a surprise to me.
Oh, now, honey, I thought the world of Jack once I got to know him.
Do you want ice in this?
Yes, please. For just one glass, can't you use the ice witchy on the door?
We never use it. Jack can't stand the noise it makes. Anyway, they break down so easily. I don't want to get used to it and then one day not have it, you know?
For just a moment, the only sound in the kitchen is of Carol stirring the drink, popping ice cubes from the tray and dropping them into the drink.
I still remember how many people came out for your daddy. And the house was full afterward, all 3 nights of the wake.
I remember people in the house until 2 a.m. That is why I asked Cindy to have people last night. This one and me need our sleep too much to have that. Besides, this place isn't big enough for all the people that were at Cindy's.
People would have squeezed in.
People would still be here from last night.
People just want to be a comfort, honey.
The air would be thick with smoke.
I know it's awful for you. Believe me, I know. But you should let people try to help. You're going to need them down the road.
Wait, does this get water or something?
Oh, just a splash. Think of the mess I would have been in if I hadn't let people help me. I wouldn't have a job if I hadn't let Dale Kaminsky help me out. Checker was a good job then, too. We made decent money, not like these kids today. No wonder they can't get the decent ones to work. I started 8 years ago for more than they're starting kids today. And the damn union wonders why the new ones aren't hot to join up. They sell people out, but they still want those weekly dues. I wonder about the world sometimes.
There you go.
You. What are you having?
Little ginger ale.
A little shot in it might help you relax.
No, Ma, really.
Oh, a little glass of wine?
Sorry, she doesn't drink.
She? You know? I thought you wouldn't let them tell you.
Jack knew.
When did he tell you? How long have you known? How could you know and not tell me?
I've only known since Tuesday.
Oh, dear.
Actually, I guess it was Wednesday morning by the time we got around to the car, so Wednesday?
Car?
He was hit head on, remember? Look, nothing in the trunk was damaged. When we had the sonogram, I told him that I didn't want to know. He couldn't believe it, but I didn't. I don't know. I just didn't seem right. Like, we were violating the baby's privacy somehow. But I wanted to look forward to finding out. I don't know. I read the riot act before the doctor told him. I said, no slips, no hints, no clues, no little blue ribbons, no pink bows, no pronouns. And he kept his word. He never let on. Except that fool had the trunk of his damn car stuffed with dresses and little pink sweaters and a 4-foot teddy bear with a huge pink bow. So my guess is we are having a girl.
You still not smoking either?
No, what? Have you gone back?
No, I'm just amazed at how careful you girls are today. I guess because you start having them so late. Or you know more than we did. I managed to have 2 healthy ones, thank God, without it being such a trial.
It hasn't been a trial.
She will be. I hope you're ready to let people help you when you start needing it.
I haven't really wanted to smoke or drink. I just lost the desire completely. Jack didn't. He didn't smoke here, though. He didn't smoke in front of me at all. He wanted me to think he quit, too, so I used to come up with little errands so he could run on his nights off so he could go out for a cigarette. I guess it's really true that the people who quit smoking live longer.
Well, that was a nice spread at your church hall. I didn't see your Aunt Dottie's angel food cake out.
She brought the banana cream pie.
Oh, for your daddy, she made angel food. There seemed to be a lot of macaroni salad. Different kinds, but a lot.
They call it pasta salad now. It is very big. Literally.
I all the magazines. Where did Edna Sweetie's scripture cake end up?
Oh, I have it here. Do you want some? Are you hungry? There's plenty. Cindy made me bring it all back last night. Most of it's stuff I can't eat anyway. It's either too sweet or too heavy. I guess you don't think of a small salad and some broiled fish for a covered dish offering.
People try to bring their best.
You didn't bring your chicken salad.
No, I didn't bring anything. You told me not. Oh dear, should I? Do you want me to?
No,
go?
Mom, I'm just teasing.
There was chicken salad there, several kinds. The ones with the grapes and almonds, and the curry.
No, thanks.
And that green musty one.
Pesto.
Oh, I haven't made chicken salad in ages.
That is just what I was thinking.
I don't think I've made it since your father died.
And he was the one that didn't like it.
That's not true.
He fussed about it every time you made it. Seems like a lot of damn trouble to go through for a meal that isn't even hot. Why cook a damn chicken so you can chop it up and serve it cold? Why not just have a damn roast chicken?
Oh, well, he liked to tease.
Who?
Your daddy. Sometimes you and Buddy took him too seriously. He was a great kidder. And he worked around beef all day. Chicken made a nice change.
He cut up chicken parts too, Ma. A butcher in a grocery store also does poultry.
Well, you children liked it.
Yes. Ma.
And we had a roast every Sunday. I had to do the best we could on what he brought home, so sometimes it had to be chicken salad. He wouldn't eat ground beef. We couldn't afford steak 7 nights a week. Not that he wasn't a wonderful provider. I never worked a day outside the home while he was alive.
You were very lucky.
We had 29 wonderful years.
It was nice of Aunt Margot to come all the way down from Burlington.
Well, you and Buddy are the only family that's left.
I hadn't thought of that.
Shame it's taken her so long to learn that she needs to put herself for family. She certainly didn't do a thing for your father when he came out of the service. And it's not as though she and Roy didn't have the resources. If she'd shown a little faith in her own brother, he'd have had his own shop instead of having to spend his life working for other people. Did you say that you had some leftovers from last night?
Yeah, sure. What would you like?
Now you sit, I can serve myself.
No, Ma, really, I can't sit too long anyway. I will be so glad when this baby comes, if only to be comfortable for more than 15 minutes at a time.
With everything you've been through, I can't let you wait on me.
You'd rather I sit brooding?
Of course not. But at least let me get the plates down. I can't stand to see you reaching.
Just get one.
You're not having anything?
I ate at the church.
You picked. I watched you.
I'm sure.
I know you don't feel like eating. You never could eat when you were the least little bit upset. But you should have a little something for the baby.
Ma, please. I am damn careful about the baby. You said it yourself. Please don't use it.
Make an old woman happy. Let me make up a plate for you. You don't have to eat a bite, but let me have the satisfaction of making up a plate for you.
Most of the stuff isn't good for us anyway.
So play with yours while I'm eating. How many times in your life does your mother say you can play with your food? Don't pass up this opportunity.
Please, Ma, make me a plate.
Oh, I'm happy to, honey. Here, you can have nice carrots and cauliflower.
They're pickled, Ma.
Well, there's this stuff of Naomi's you seem to like.
Hummus. Yeah, all right. Put a little hummus out for me, please.
Here, take the bowl over to the table. What are you doing?
There's pita in the drawer. I don't have to bend to reach or get it. I don't like hummus enough to eat it off a spoon.
Oh, good. There's some of that wonderful lasagna left.
There are 2.5 pans of lasagna left. Did people think I was opening a lunch wagon?
Just let me flip the oven on.
No, oh my God, no.
Honey, we don't want to eat it cold.
No, don't use the oven.
Is there something wrong with the oven?
Get away from the oven.
Carol, what is wrong with the oven?
You can't use the oven.
Tell me right now, what is the matter?
Can't use it.
Carol?
I can't tell you. I can't. You won't get it.
What is this? What's in here? A plate? Chicken, rice, green beans? What's the big deal?
That's Jack's dinner.
Oh, honey.
He was coming home from work, remember? I was heating it for him when the cop came to the door instead.
Honey, you can't. Jack's not...
No, I know. Just put it back, please.
Honey.
Back. Just put it back.
Won't work.
I don't care.
You have to face...
In my own way, in my own time.
It'll go bad sitting in there. It'll smell. You'll get bugs.
I will let it smell and I will welcome the bugs.
Honey, that doesn't make sense.
What does? What the hell does? Does it make sense that Jack's dead? Does it make sense that he wasn't even 2 miles from here? Does it make sense that he wasn't wearing his goddamn seatbelt? Just put my husband's dinner back in the oven and don't talk to me about sense.
Okay. Okay, honey. Okay, I've put it back. It's back.
Thank you.
Can I put on some tea? Is there anything I can get you?
Little ginger ale, I guess. Or if there's apple juice, I'll take that.
There's apple juice. Here you go.
Thanks.
Does Dr. Martell know how upset you are?
She knows what happened. She was at the wake. I assume she knows I'm not happy about it.
Well, maybe she could prescribe something?
I don't want anything.
Something to help you relax that wouldn't hurt the baby.
If I was relaxed, there would be a problem. I don't think I should feel good about this.
But you keep so much bottled in.
I know what I feel without spraying it all over the church.
Oh. She was a bit much, wasn't she?
Who?
His mother.
No, I wasn't criticizing Betsy Ryan, Ma.
But really?
No, you weren't exactly stoic.
Well, I was moved at the church for my daughter. Forgive me. I wasn't still shrieking at the graveside with my husband standing at my... She could have taken a cue from your composure. Why couldn't she let you set the tone?
That's not relevant.
Plus, when you've had it easy, you take it harder when something does go wrong.
Yeah, yeah, she's had it easy. Unless you count Jack's brother dying in Vietnam, but hell, that was so long ago that hardly counts. It's easy. Maybe having a daughter die of leukemia when she was 7. I really don't know why a woman who was bearing the last of her 3 children wouldn't show a little more self-control. I think it's a miracle that poor woman hasn't lost her mind.
I'm sorry. I forgot about the brother, and I never knew about the sister.
I'm sorry, Ma. That was...
Why? I'm sorry that I did whatever I did to make you think that I'm so mean-spirited. I'm sorry you expect me not to have compassion.
I don't, Ma. I wasn't thinking.
You shouldn't have to, dear, with all you've been through. Excuse me.
Ma, please don't.
I'm just going to the lady. I'll be right back, dear.
Fine, Ma.
Norma exits left. Carol watches her. Lights fade as she stares off left. Lights up on Carol, isolated, in a pool of light.
I used to curse the development of indoor plumbing. I used to say to my brother, Buddy, I bet you wouldn't pull this shit if we had an outhouse. He must have heard me 1,000 times before he finally said, wouldn't help. We'd feel worse, worrying about her sulking out in the cold, snow blowing around her blue ankles. That became our code, blue ankles. We had a bout of the blue ankles. It has been a blue ankles day. She was entitled to this bout of blue ankles. This one, I guess. She was telling the truth. She didn't know about Jack's sister. But the Ryans aren't brooders. They don't cling to every slight and hurt, unlike the Walensky's. There's that town in Spain or Mexico or somewhere where they have a festival called Running of the Bulls. Well, our family was the airing of the grudges. And we held to it a lot more than once a year. My father and Aunt Margot could remember the things they'd done to each other in high school in vivid, extended detail. Not to mention the saga of the loan that never was. So as you've heard, when my father came out of the service, Aunt Margot and Uncle Roy wouldn't stake him $4,000 to open his own butcher shop. They probably could have afforded it, so maybe you would think a little less of them. But do you make it the 6-ton milestone you drag around for the rest of your irredeemably ruined life? You did if you were my father, especially if you had my mother to help you polish it and keep it bright so it could reflect every beam of light that came its way. One of the nights of Daddy's wake, she actually said to Buddy and me, we could have given you kids such a nice life if your father had been given the chance to open up his own shop. So it shouldn't come as a surprise that she's going to be in the John for a while. So for the longest time, the Ryans were like Martians to me. Mr. Ryan actually talked to Jack. By the time Jack and I started going out, they'd already buried 2 kids, and they were so happy to still have Jack. But his mother's a little more subdued now, but she takes comfort in Betsy. My mother would just find the poor kid a painful reminder of all she had lost. Yeah. Jack was the baby. He doesn't remember his sister at all, but they have these pictures of Billy and this pretty little girl, and then pictures of Billy and this wan little girl with puffy eyes, and this great fat doofus of a baby. And that little girl had such a smile and such a light in her eyes holding that baby. And then the pictures started just being of the 2 boys. And that's all the fuss that was ever made of them. Having grown up in a house where life was a litany of grievances, I couldn't fathom the Ryans at all. The brother, Billy, Jack remembered. When they opened the Vietnam War Memorial, his mother wanted no part of it. She said it was morbid nonsense and they wouldn't go near it. And Jack and I talked about his brother a lot, but never about his dying. Well, we went after the opening hoopla had passed. And we found Billy's name, and we stood there. And we stood there. And stood there. I had known Jack for years by then, but I still couldn't read him at all. We just kept standing there. And finally, he took a step away, and he said the only thing that I ever heard him say about Billy's death. Every day, there's still a part of me that expects him to come home. Every day.
Lights come up slowly on the full stage. Carol looks at, but doesn't step back into, the kitchen.
Okay, Ma. I guess we're not done either.
Carol exits left, lights to black. When the lights come back up on the kitchen, it is clean, and Norma is sitting at the kitchen table in a nightgown, robe and slippers working a jigsaw puzzle. The old fashions are behind her, and she is nursing a straight rye. Carol enters from left, still in her dress, but slightly disheveled.
Hello, dear. Here, sit. Can I get you something? Tea? Juice?
Tea, please. Tea would be nice. How long have I been out?
Oh, nearly 3 hours.
Where did you find this old thing?
Oh, top of the linen closet.
Nothing you wanted on television?
I didn't want to disturb you.
I fell asleep with it on.
I thought the piece would do you good. I didn't know about leaving you in the chair, how long that would be comfortable. But I didn't want to wake you. I didn't know what to do.
The chair's no problem. I've been sleeping in it.
Oh. Oh. At night? All night?
It's been fine. I just happened to fall asleep.
You can't sleep in the bed alone? You have trouble falling asleep?
No, I sleep fine. I have trouble waking up alone. I couldn't do it again. I can't face the morning.
Honey, that chair can't be comfortable all night. It can't be good for you.
The sofa is too low and too narrow. What am I going to do? Stay in a hotel?
You could come home.
Can't be 70 miles from the hospital, Ma. I can't be that far from my doctor.
Then I guess we'll stay here.
Ma, you don't have to stay.
Of course I do. You don't have any idea how much help you're going to need.
Won't you need to be getting back to work?
I don't have to get anywhere with you alone in this condition. That new one they brought in tried to give me some guff about 3 days bereavement leave. I told him that my daughter came before his damn policy and I'd be back when I got back. I was working in that store when he was still in high school.
Ma, don't go losing your job. Buddy will help when you can.
Big help he'll be.
You'd be surprised.
I would.
And Cindy and Julie and all the girls from work, I've got people, Ma. You really don't have to be worried.
They're not family. There's nowhere I need to be but here with you. Careful now. Tea's still hot. Now, what else do you need? Cream? Sugar?
There's honey on the door of the fridge, if you don't mind. Ma, why not save your time? Just come help me once the baby's born.
Once the baby is born, you won't need to be so close to that hospital. You can come home with me.
No, I can't.
Of course you can. What else can you do but come home?
Thanks, Ma. I'm going to stay in my own home.
Well, you're still going to move.
We have to. There are new people moving in here. The place is sold. The movers are hired. The move is on.
So bring your things home. What doesn't fit, we can put in storage.
Ma, I have a home to move to.
You're not still taking that place.
I am.
You're not thinking things through. You can't. You're too upset. You've been through too much. You should trust me on this. You should come home.
I've thought things through.
How can you afford the new place now?
I still have a job, and there's some insurance, and the Ryans have offered to help if I get strapped.
You're going back to work.
Not the day after, but yeah, I'm going back to work. I'm going to take some extra time. I'm going to take more than the 6 weeks that they give, but I'm going back to work.
And who's going to take care of the baby?
Mrs. Ryan has offered it. Julie's mother does daycare in her place, and it's between my place and her place and my work.
You've got everything covered, no place in it for me. You'd rather have strangers taking care of my grandchild than to come home where you can stay home with her yourself.
Ma, I'm sorry. I just can't imagine being stuck out there with no job.
So you work, I'll stay home with the baby.
I can't ask you to give up your job. It's your life.
What life? Being written up by these damn punks who have no use for how long you've been there, or for common sense, or for courtesy, who don't want you talking to the customers because, God forbid, the customers might think you value their patronage, who just want you to pull items across their damn little glass screens like you were just one more part of the machine. And you better be quick and as cold as the machine if you want to keep your job. And once a week, my daughter calls, and once a month, my son calls, and that's the life I can't give up?
Buddy only calls you once a month. I'll kill him.
I can sell the house. I can help you with your mortgage and stay home with the baby if you want to go back to work.
Well, I need to think. Okay? I'm not saying yes. We don't have to settle this tonight, right? You're going to let me think this out, okay?
Well, I wouldn't ask you to rush into something like this, but you'll see what a good idea it is. I know with all you've been through, you can't think of everything yourself.
I need to get out of this dress. I'm going to try sleeping in our bed tonight. This sofa's made up. Do you need a hand pulling it out?
I can handle it, dear. I'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Okay. I'm going to get in, all right?
Good. You need your rest.
Good night.
Sleep well, honey. You'll see. We're going to do just fine.
Carol nods warily, then exits left. Norma clears the table and begins washing dishes as lights fade to black. Isolated spot up on Carol.
What Ma didn't realize is how much she had lost. See, she lost her only ally. Like so many mothers of daughters, she had no use for her daughter's husband. She didn't have a nice word to say to or about Jack when he was alive, but he had such patience with her, with me, too. The low point with Ma came while we were living together right after college. Daddy just didn't speak to me, which wasn't such a big change. He hadn't liked my going away to school. Didn't think a woman needed college. Living with Jack instead of getting married like a respectable girl was the natural result of too much education. Now, Buddy, who had no interest in school at all, Buddy he badgered into going, and Buddy did what he was told. But my mother, the pit bull, kept at me the whole time Jack and me lived together. What she never knew was the only person who wanted us married more than she did was Jack. And after watching them for 20-odd years, I wanted no part of being married. Finally, though, I could not marry Jack. He wasn't my father, anyway, and he did as much as any mortal could to keep me from turning into my mother. Daddy died the first year we were married, and Jack and Buddy really pitched in with Ma in the house. They painted it for her twice before she got sighting. They built her new patio. She took it all as her due. And we were the only couple we knew who had fights about him being too nice to her mother.
Carol shakes her head and laughs to herself as lights fade to black. Lights come back up on Norma, still in her robe, putting saran wrap over a bowl. She puts the bowl in the refrigerator, turns to the sink, and begins washing dishes and cutlery. After a beat, Carol enters from left, flipping on the light in the dining area. Norma jumps.
Sorry, Ma.
What are you doing up, honey?
I couldn't sleep. What drives you to do dishes at 4 a.m.?
I was just feeling restless. Would you like something?
No, I don't think so.
I've been doing some thinking.
Yeah?
Your Aunt Dottie had an idea.
Great.
Well, she didn't know quite how to bring it up to you.
That bad?
It may not be a bad idea. It might help you get a little financial security.
How long has Aunt Dot been a financial whiz?
She saw one of those commercials for a law firm that helps people collect when they've been hurt in accidents. And she thought you should certainly be able to get something from the one who ran into Jack.
No, Mom.
Sure. The papers. What do they call it? Wrongful death.
That's obscene, Ma, even for Aunt Dottie.
Well, don't be hasty, honey.
Ma, the kid was 19. 19. What am I going to get out of suing him? He's in junior college. His parents are working people. There's no money to get. I don't need revenge, and nothing happens in court that will get me Jack back. So
you're going to let him get off scot-free?
He's not getting off scot-free. He's got to live with what he has done for the rest of his life. They're going to charge him with manslaughter. He shouldn't have been driving like that. He's underage. I'd like to get my hands around the throat of the scum that sold him the beer, but I can't hate the kid, Ma. There's no getting even. He was stupid, and he wasn't doing anything that Jack or Buddy or me wouldn't have done at that age.
Well, I hope that kid knows how lucky he is.
I'm sure he is sitting in his cell, just overwhelmed by his good fortune. But let's drop this, okay? Maybe I will have a little juice. Do we really have that many dishes? Do you want some juice?
No, thanks.
Carol returns the juice to the refrigerator and closes the door. She pauses for a moment, sets down her glass, and reopens the door.
What's this?
Oh, you were asking for my chicken salad before. I made a little batch.
Chicken salad.
Carol sets the bowl down on the counter slowly and deliberately. She picks up a plate from the drain board, examines it carefully, and nods her head slowly. She sets the plate down gingerly and moves to the oven. After a beat, she opens the oven door.
What have you done?
It would have gone bad. Now you have a nice chicken salad.
What did I tell you?
Carol?
I said in my own time. My own time. You couldn't respect that?
Were you going to pack it up and take it with you when you move?
What?
You couldn't get rid of it yourself. I was just helping, getting rid of it for you.
It wasn't the help that I wanted. It wasn't help I needed.
You may not be the best judge of what you need.
Get out.
Honey?
Get out of my home.
Take a breath, honey.
Get dressed, get packed, and get out now.
Carol.
I'm calling Buddy to come get you. You better be ready when he gets here.
They stare each other down for a moment. Then Norma turns and exits left. Carol braces herself against a counter as lights fade to black. Isolated spot back up on Carol.
And we haven't spoken a word since. And sometimes I know how petty I'm being, and I want to forgive her. I don't want to think I can not forgive my mother for making a chicken salad, you know, but how bad a chicken salad could it have been? It's not what Jack would have wanted. Hating her doesn't fill any void that he left, but I don't know, in a way there's this kind of balance, like having him gave me the, I don't know, peace, strength to deal with her, and without him there's no balancing force and the teeter-totter just flips right over. Whatever I know in my head, my heart won't let me pick up the phone. I can't say I'm sorry, and I know she will not say it. And still I'm sure she thinks that she is the injured party here. And sometimes it scares me when I'm holding Betsy or I'm watching her sleep. It scares me to think that she must have loved me the way that I love Betsy. And I wonder what I am going to do to drive Betsy away. I'm going to make her hate me. How am I going to make her hate me? Because I'm not smarter than my mother. I'm not better at it. I don't have Jack to help me get it right.
Fade to black. End of chicken salad. All right. Thank you so much. If you're in the audience, why don't you unmute your mics and give them a nice round of applause? Keep clapping. I think we're all like having a little clap choir now.
Put it on the other end here somewhere?
No. I don't want to leave meeting. We unmuted. Not quite sure.
Undo.
All right, thank you so much. Why don't we open for a bit of Q&A? Since there's so many of us, I would ask if you could please write a question in the chat. There's a group chat box, so if you want to type a question, I can unmute you, and I can ask them for you.
Here we go.
It lights up.
I thought that would work.
So just type your question into the chat box, and we'll go through them one by one.
We're doing this wrong.
Oh,
We've already got gallery view. We just have to
Are
figure
you
out how to
looking for the chat box? If it's not showing, you can click on the More button, which is the 3 dots on the bottom right-hand corner of the Zoom menu.
More.
Okay. Yeah, 3 dots. And then you click on Chat, and that will open a group chat box. And just type in any question, right, actors?
Oh, sure.
so
I'm gonna keep you all muted for now, just so we can keep talking while you're asking your questions in the chat box, and I will read them shortly. And I will unmute you when it's your turn to ask. But for now, I didn't let either of you actresses introduce yourself. So, Jenny, you're about to introduce yourself. Maybe tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, what you've been doing with your acting career lately.
I'm Jenny. I live in New York, and I've been quarantined for 6 weeks like everybody else. Very exciting. I mostly do some acting, some producing, some all the things. So I have a show called Adulting with Jane that I have a lot of fun producing and acting in. And
Cool. And Susan O'Doherty, please tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Susan. I also live in New York, in Brooklyn, actually. I'm an actor. I usually play sweet old grandmas, so this was a wonderful change for me. I'm also an improviser. I actually am a founding member of Red Shirts, which is the only all-women Star Trek-based musical improv team in the known universe. That's how we bill ourselves. And I'm also a clinical psychologist and hypnotherapist.
Thank you. So I have a couple of questions. Jenny, if you could ask in character one question to Norma, your mother, that you couldn't ask during the play, what would that be? I'm putting them on the spot, by the way.
oh Jesus. Why? I don't know. I guess why do you have so much invested in getting me to do what you need me to do? Why is that such a huge part of your operation? I feel like Norma has a lot invested in getting Carol to do what she wants her to do, and like, why is that important? Why is that so important to her? Why does that have to be what she needs?
I think that the only time in my life that I've ever felt important was when you kids were little and I was totally in charge. And I've been trying to recreate that ever since.
All right. Same thing for you, Norma. If there was one question you could ask your daughter that you didn't get to ask in the play, what would it be?
What could I do to convince you that we're on the same side and we'd be happy living together?
Probably nothing. A lot of years of showing me that you have my interests at heart rather than your own. That's a lot of years. I don't know. No, nothing.
You're both very stubborn. I'll turn to the comments. So Helene Gallick says, "Hi, Jenny. I am in the audience." And David Fulton says, "This was a cool experience. When is the next one?" I can answer that. So the next play reading will be in 2 Sundays' time. I haven't updated the website yet, but I will do that shortly. What I would suggest you do is if you go to lineruns.com, I assume that's where you RSVP'd, by the way. Otherwise, I'll type it here. What you all can do is to attend future play readings and perhaps even apply to do a reading. There's some casting notices up there. Just go to lineruns.com and enter your email in the subscribe box, and I will be sending regular emails about upcoming play readings that way, and also audition notices. So that's the best way to stay in touch for now. And eventually Facebook will have some stuff also, but the website's your best bet to find out about the next play reading. But it will be the same time, 2 Sundays from now. Same time, and that will be Charlie's Aunt, which is an old Pepper. Oh, you know it?
Oh, yes. I remember the movie with Ray Bolger.
Amazing. Awesome. Yeah, so that's happening in 2 weeks' time. That's the next one. And then you also asked, is this the first time anyone got to see the script, or could you study it beforehand? Susan, would you like to talk about the process we just had?
Yeah, Leigh sent us the script 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago, and we studied it separately, and then we've had 2 rehearsals. And each one, I think, has been different and richer. Leigh gives us notes, and then we go back and incorporate them into the next reading, and it's been a very rich experience despite the very short period.
Yeah. Okay, and then this is a question from Melissa Shapiro. How did the experience differ because you couldn't perform this in person with each other? Jenny.
It's very weird watching yourself talk on a screen. It is extremely weird. I know that like a handful of people in this chat are, friends of mine. This is like, I don't know, it's a lot. Like doing 2 rehearsals and then like doing something like I felt like it was, it's something like most, when you do a play, you rehearse for a month, or if it's on screen, then, you kind of are in the privacy of your own pocket, and there's not a lot of like, I don't know, thought about like what's going on. This is kind of a little overexposed in a way, but I think it's interesting because it kind of just makes you make a choice and keep going. So yeah, awkward, but cool.
Okay. Susan?
Yeah, I agree. It's very strange. It's to see yourself, and also, like, I know that I felt like I was making eye contact with Jenny, but she probably didn't feel that way because I was looking at her screen eyes and not into the camera where she could see it's. So there's a little disconnect there that's not there when you're doing it live with the person. I also wanted to reach out and hug her several times, and that's not possible. And in addition to all that, I had put my phone on Do Not Disturb, but yet at the very beginning, I was getting all these texts from friends saying, I can't log in, I can't get it, the link isn't working for me, it's sold out, I can't do it, which was a little bit distracting and would not have happened in a live performance.
And then J. Rapolo Jacobs asked, what inspired you to showcase this piece? So I guess it's a question for me. What inspired me is this, the idea that you can have generational stubbornness, that there can be character traits that are inherited. That was what initially spoke out to me. And also that there could be, that there could even be something more agonizing than the death of a family member. To me, that is like the most painful thing one could ever go through. And yet this grief is somehow bypassed because there's these other anxieties hovering around in the atmosphere that are so deeply entrenched in the family history that they can take front and center the day after Jack's death. So it's quite an astonishing delve into an alternative reality that I imagine not many of us would experience. And yeah, it's just lovely writing, and I'm really lucky that I got to work with Susan and Jenny on this too. And David Fulton also asked who picked the show. That would be me. Yeah. Let's see. Greg says, lovely work, kids. Enjoyed your work. Helena Gaelic says, congrats, everyone. Well done. Jenny Moss, nice job, ladies. I was just as upset as Carol that Norma made the chicken salad.
Oh.
And J. Rapolo Jacobs says, great work. Well, that is the end of the comments. So thank you very much for joining us, and hope to have you back another week. You're very, very, very welcome, either to come as an audience member or to even submit as a cast member. Look for the casting notices. There's a casting notice page on the website Line Runs. But please keep joining in, and thank you so much to Susan and Jenny. Do either of you have something to promote? Of course, Jenny, you have Adulting with Jane. How can people watch it?
Adultingwithjane.com.
There you go.
Very
Check
excited.
it out. It's so much fun. I absolutely love it. And I think it's so awesome that you are producing and directing and acting in this yourself. I am so inspired by you. Thank you so much. And Susan, do you have anything to promote at the moment?
We're still working on getting it online because we were doing live performances, but redshirtsmusicalimprov.com.
redshirtsmusicalimprov.com.
Or Red Shirts Musical Improv on Facebook is really an easier way to find us.
Okay, cool. All right. Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much, everyone. This was also live streaming on the Facebook page, Line Runs on Facebook. So if you missed any parts, feel free to go in there. I know a couple of you guys came late, so feel free to join in. But for now, please stay safe. I hope to see you back in a couple of weeks' time. And thank you so much for joining. Jenny and Susan, I'll send you an email right after the call. I'll just hang up for now.
Great. Thanks.
Be healthy,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Bye.